The Thin Bezel screen offers an at-home cinema screen that looks good whether or not it's in use. In addition, the Thin Bezel opens options if you have limited wall space. Where a normal frame is too big, the Thin Bezel shaves down about 4 inches off overall width and height of the screen. While being an elegant screen and a great addition to any room, it is of the more complicated to assemble. Despite this, it is still something that the average homeowner can do, and we will teach you how. First, lay out the frame parts as they are to be assembled. Match the corners together to form a rectangle. Then, locate the corner brackets and joint bars. If your screen doesn't have stickers to indicate how many white fixing lugs you need to slide into the frame, go ahead and unroll the material now in a safe place where it won't get damaged or dirty. Then count the notches in the material's edges and put white fixing lugs in the coordinating places in the frame rail. For this 92-inch, we had 12 fixing lugs for the top and the bottom and 7 for either side. The corner brackets and joint bars don't need to go together in any particular order, whether you put corner brackets on first or joint bars on first. To attach the corners, you need to simply slide the corner brackets into the angled sides of the frame to form a perfect 90-degree angle. Insert both the corner bracket and small corner brackets at the same time. Use the screws and set screws to tighten the corners while it is perfectly lined up. The joint bars go together similarly. Insert one end and tighten one screw so that it keeps the joint bar from sliding around. Then slide it into the other side and insert the other 3 screws. You might need to loosen the first screw to get the frame together right. Once it is, tighten all the screws. The last 2 corners need to be inserted simultaneously. This is because the frame's corners do not bend. Now that the frame is assembled, slide the material under the frame. Be careful not to get the screen dirty or damaged. You can insert the support bar after or before you tension the material. In this case, we did it after. Insert the tensioning rod with only one rubber end into the long side of the frame. Enter it with the end without the rubber end first. Pinch the pocket so that the rod stays close to the seal. This makes the rod slide in nice and smooth. There will be 2 rods per long side. The rod with 2 rubber ends goes into each short side. Use the same pinch method to smoothly insert the rod. Once all the rods are in all the way, start spacing out the fixing lugs to match with the notches in the material. This next part is extremely important. You must attach the 2 fixing lugs at each corner before attaching the rest of the frame. This positions the material perfectly with the rest of the frame. Once you have all 4 corners attached, you need to go around the perimeter of the screen and attach the fixing lugs. The last side will be the most difficult, but it is possible. The screen is intended to be extremely tight. Were it not so, you wouldn't have the best possible projection surface. Before proceeding, you need to lift the screen and check for wrinkles. If you didn't follow the directions here, you will be more likely to experience wrinkles on the edges of the frame. If you do have wrinkles, just pull them out with your fingers, like so. Insert the support bar into the lip on the far end of the frame first. Then, with one hand pushing the bar away from you and the other hand pulling the frame towards you, insert the other side of the support bar into your side of the frame. Now it's time to install the namesake part of the frame, the thin bezel. Lay the bezels out similarly to the frame pieces so that the corners are matching. To attach them, put the velveted edge on the viewing surface and snap the aluminum to the back of the frame. If you have ever handled paint cans, this is similar to the lid snapping on. It is removed similar to a paint can also. I put the bezel on just slightly off, and it's impeding me from putting on the last side. If you make a mistake like this one, you can remove the bezel with a flathead screwdriver, just like you would remove a paint can, and then reattach it. When you do reattach it, line it up exactly with the frame and snap it back on. This is the final step of assembly. Now we just need to mount the screen to the wall. Measure the width and height on the wall exactly where you want the frame to be. Make sure it is level. Mark where you want the mounts. We suggest you place them at studs closest to the 1/3 mark and the 2/3 mark of the width of the frame. This is to support the entire weight of the frame, which will keep it perfectly rectangular over the years. The top screw of the mounting bracket is exactly 3.5 inches below the very top of the frame. Use the mounting bracket to mark the second hole and then make sure it's plumb. When it is clamped shut, the bottom of the lower brackets are flush with the very bottom of the frame. This makes it easy to mark where it should go. Line it up with where the bottom of the frame should be and mark where the screws should go. We include wall anchors in case you can't find studs in your wall, but we suggest you use the studs, in which case you do not need the wall anchors. Now, screw the mounts into the wall where you marked. Using help, hang the screen onto the wall, position the upper mounts into the lip shown here. The lower mounts clamp onto the lowest lip of the bottom of the frame. If you have any questions or concerns, contact support@silverticketproducts.com.